Welcome back to the show, everybody. Well, I've shared on the show that I made a very big life change last September when I decided to stop drinking. It has been an excellent choice for me, and our next guest helped me to do it. So I am so excited she's here today to share her own experience with making the transition to an alcohol-free life.
Please join us in welcoming the publisher of Some Good Clean Fun magazine and Canada's leading non-alcoholic drinks expert, Sarah Kate.
Oh, thank you for having me today.
Sarah, welcome to the show. As we mentioned, you decided to stop drinking 3 years ago, right?
Yes, yeah.
So what made you decide to do that?
So I was a female executive, a mom of 2 kids, and I was really leaning more increasingly on kind of coping and falling into that narrative of like moms need wine. And I had always loved to drink. So as I was getting, further along and finding I was drinking more and more every day, I thought, this isn't healthy. I've got to stop. And I never considered myself an alcoholic. Like I knew it was so bad for me and I felt so terrible all the time. I read a book called This Naked Mind, and it literally changed my life because it made me realize what it was doing to my body, but also how much pressure we have around us to drink all the time unnecessarily.
So what did you find to be the most challenging part of making the transition?
You know what, it's keeping your head in the game and understanding what the end goal is. So wherever you go, you're pressured to drink, so or wherever I went, I was pressured to drink. So I really had to keep my head in the game and remember what the long game is, that it was that 15 minutes of like, okay, I'm gonna have a glass of wine mattered less than the long game of feeling my best.
So what changes did you notice when you went alcohol-free?
So obviously, there's a lot of great physical changes. I felt better. I felt just healthier. But the biggest thing for me is that I just felt so much joy at being present and being there for my family and my friends and really being able to be accountable to myself, sticking to a goal, and not leaning on something else to solve my problems for me has made me such a strong person now. I can handle anything that comes my way. And it's just such a joy to be able to connect with people and connect with myself.
What tips then do you have for people who might be considering making the same choice, or at least maybe shifting their drinking habits?
So I think one of my first tips is to really stop grabbing a drink on autopilot just because you're in the situation. If you're at a bridal shower and everybody's drinking champagne, think to yourself, is it going to make my day funner? Or, can I maybe get, do I need this right now? The second thing is stock up on non-alcoholic drinks. There's so many out there. You know that. You've tried a lot of them. Find the ones that you like, not what everybody else likes. Try a whole bunch, figure out what you like, stock your fridge so you can surf the urge with that drink. And then one of the things for me was that I connected with a lot of community on Instagram. I read books, I listened to podcasts. There's not just one way anymore to say, it's not about sobriety, it's about wellness. And so you can choose your own adventure when it comes to making this change.
So for a lot of people, a glass of wine or a cocktail sort of signifies the end of a day, and they associate that with unwinding. And you sort of answer this, like, how do you, though, now choose to unwind? Is this part of it?
Yeah. Sometimes I just go into my closet and scream into a pillow. Depends on how bad my kids are that day. But, sometimes for me, I just sit on the couch. I just say to everybody in my house, I'm resting, I'm relaxing right now, don't bother me. And I just sit down with sometimes a non-alcoholic drink or just with myself and just try and relax, because sometimes that's all you need. You just need that moment of silence and that moment of relaxation to kind of get over that hurdle of like, the wine is going to help me relax. Sometimes you just need to relax on the couch.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Well, since I stopped drinking, I went that route of trying to find non-alcoholic alternatives. And so I turned to you. You have a great Instagram page. And I said, okay, what's the world like? What is it out there that's available? And so we're going to start in the non-alcoholic wine category, because I think wine is very, very popular.
Yeah.
So what is the world offering us in that realm right now?
So sparkling wine is kind of the go-to right now as far as the best in the wine world. I would say they have come out with some amazing sparkling, right? Like you've tried a lot of them, and I brought some other sparklings on the show before, and so, they're great. White wines are really coming along. So, everybody always DMs me on Instagram, do you have a white wine as recommendation, especially now in the spring? and we're really getting there. You're going to taste this. It's an amazing option that I've brought in today. So this one that we're going to sample is called Brochette Zero. And it's from the Loire region in France. And as you just took a whiff of it, and you can smell and taste the grass, which is, very typical of the Sauvignon Blanc, the gooseberry. And it's a nice, like, juicy, puckery,
I like this a lot.
Yeah. And guess what, ladies? Low sugar.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the thing. People always ask me, right? Low sugar. This is the biggest thing about non-alcoholic drinks, is that sometimes they can be very high in sugar. So this is a great option. Brochette Zero is a good one. So then with the red wines.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, is it more difficult with a red wine to make it non-alcoholic?
Yeah. So red wines, we still haven't quite cracked the nut yet. I think we're getting really close. For some reason, it's the depth of flavor that people are expecting in a red wine is really hard to recreate. New innovation and technology is getting us there slowly but surely. This is one of the best I've tried. This is called Loudis Savvy Red. It's from South Africa. It's made from Shiraz. It's got those nice smoky flavors and the tannins, and it's juicy, right? And it's never going to taste exactly the same as wine. There's always going to be a little bit of, something missing, but it's not grape juice. And that's what I always tell people. It's not grape juice. This tastes like a wine you can enjoy with your meal. I had this the other day with some potato chips, and it was like the best snack ever, right?
Look, people are trying to convince themselves that cauliflower is chicken wings, so they can,
Yes.
What about non-alcoholic beer?
So Canadians are really making a lot of great non-alcoholic craft beer. This is the leader in the whole non-alcoholic drinks category. Non-alcoholic beer is leading. This is from Libra. It's a Prince Edward Island-based brewery.
I like that.
This is their pale ale. It's available at, I think it's available at Sobeys and at various Costco's across the country. They're rolling out slowly but surely. You can get it at the LCBO in Ontario. And it's, I think, one of the nicest Canadian non-alcoholic beers out there. It tastes like a beer, and you don't really notice that you're missing the alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we could spend hours on this. It's why I love it so much. And it's why we always go to you, because you are the expert. So Sarah Kate, thank you so much for bringing all of these. So good. So good.
Thanks for watching. We've got lots more discussion and debates on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. Don't forget to click like and subscribe.